Hello, good morning. Today we're going to do solving one variable equation. And the first lesson is divide. Now, we call it divide because we're going to solve the variable just by dividing numbers, okay? This is the first example in the paper. On this paper, you just need to follow me with the exercises, so that's why I uploaded in your Google Classrooms. I already started this one, and as you can see, we're solving for x. The negative 3 is in the way, so we need to get rid of the negative 3. So how do we do that? By dividing. But if we divide on this side, we divide on the other side. So that's why it's called divide. You bring down the x, and then you do this operation. You can do this operation with the calculator in your cell phone or the calculator that you have on your link or in your computer. And 81 divided by negative 3 gives you negative 27. So this is your answer. Okay? This is the answer. Let me highlight in green. Okay? Alright, then I'm going to move on to exercise number 2. It says solve and graph. Now this time they're asking us to graph. Now here we're solving for letter C. And the number that it's in the way is the negative 4. So we need to get rid of the negative 4. So how do we get rid of it? Because it's multiplying. The opposite of multiplying is division. So we divide by negative 4, but if we divide on one side, we divide the other side too. Okay, let me move it. Okay, so divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. You see how we're doing divide by the same number, negative 4, negative 4. So this becomes a 1, and you bring down the C. And C equals, then do this division. Negative 16 divided by negative 4 gives you positive 4. The signs in division, you follow the same rules as in multiplication. Negative by negative gives you positive. And the answer is 4. C equals 4. Now, how do we graph this? Very simple. We do a number line like this. You put the 0 right here, and the 4 will be 3, 4. It will be over here. 4. So this is the value of C. And that's how you graph. Let me graph the green highlighter. And it's right here. Okay? We can just put a dot. Alright, I'm going to move on to this one. Solve the following. Now we're going to solve for x. Let me move this light a little bit over here. I think that's better. Okay. Now we want to get rid of the 2. It's in the way. We want to leave the x by itself. So how do you get rid of it? Divide by the 2, because that's the number that you're getting rid of. Okay. The 2. Alright. So 2 divided by 2 becomes a 1, and bring down the x. You're left with the x by itself now. And then negative 18 divided by 2 gives you negative 9. And this is your answer. This problem right here doesn't say to graph. So we just leave it like that, and this is your answer. On number 4, solve the following equation and then graph. So now we have to graph. We're solving for x. This one I'm going to do it without highlighting. So what is in the way? The 3. How do we get rid of it? By dividing. 3 divided by 3. We said that we're going to get rid of the 3 by dividing, but if we remember, if you divide on this side, you also have to divide by the 3 on the other side. That's why we call it divide. So this becomes a 1, and you bring down the x. You're left with the x, bring it down. And then this operation right here, what is 0 divided by 3? The answer is 0. And this is your answer. This is the answer. And how do we graph it? You draw the number line. Oops, sorry. My highlighters are playing games. Okay, so we graph it. We know that this is a number line. The 0 goes right here. So, and this was our answer. So we put the X right here. And that is your graph. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, I'm going to do number 5. Determine the value of P. Value of P means that you're going to solve. And then we're going to graph it. Look at this one in particular. You have negative P equals negative 10. Now, I am going to highlight here because I want you to see something. I'm going to highlight where the negative is. Remember that even though we don't see it, that negative means that you have a negative 1 right there in front of the P. So in order to solve for P, we're going to divide. By which number? By the negative 1. So divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. And that way you get rid of this, and you bring down the P, and this equals. Negative 10 divided by negative 1 is positive 10. Negative by negative, positive. So this is our answer. And we also have to graph it. So you draw a little number line. Here's the 0. And let's just count 10 units. I don't know if I counted right, but you just mark the 10 right here and you put the dot, and this is the value of P. And that's it. That is your graph. Okay. Number 6. What is the value of x in the following equation? Again, you're solving for x. This one doesn't say anything about graphing, so we don't need to graph on this one. So what do we do? Divide by 5, divide by 5. This becomes a 1, and you bring down the x, and x equals 30 divided by 5 is 6. And that's your answer. Okay. All right. These are the last two. And okay, I don't have my calculator at hand with me, but I think you can do this one with your calculator. All right, determine the value of y in the following equation and then graph the result. So divide by 16, divide by 16. This becomes a 1, and the y equals, you just do this operation and you finish this one for me, okay? I'm sorry, I forgot to have my calculator ready. All right, number 8. Same thing. I'm just going to set it up, but this is a good opportunity for you to finish the exercise that I started. I did the divide by the negative 8. Divide. This becomes a 1, and the value of x is going to be the result of dividing these two. Now pay attention to the signs. You have negative over negative, so you know that your answer is going to be a positive number. I don't know. Put it in the calculator. You're going to get a decimal. Just write it down and graph it. Okay? It's going to be a positive number. I believe it's going to be a fraction. It's going to be somewhere about 4. It's going to be 4 something. 4 point something. I don't know. You get the decimal. This is 0, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your answer is going to be somewhere over here. You write down the value and you put the value of x. Okay, so finish this one for me too. Okay, all right, so this is the guided practice. You can write them down on a piece of paper as you go over the video, and then I'm gonna upload the independent practice. And those exercises, you have to do them on your own, take a photo, and upload it. All right? Thank you. Bye.